You wouldn't believe what I discovered when I opened that drawer. It was a file with my son's name on it, and it changed everything I knew about our company. My name is Elena, and I have been the CEO of this large tech company for 15 years. We have 500 employees. We make phones and computers. I thought I knew every person in this building. However, I was wrong. I did not know the truth about the quiet intern who cleaned the floors every night. Who was he really? And why was his name in my husband's secret file from 20 years ago? The secrets in this office are darker than anyone suspects. My name is Elena, and this is the story of how I almost lost my company and my son. Let me start from the beginning. Every morning, the interns arrive at 7 a.m. They carry coffee for the managers. They copy papers. They do small jobs. One of these interns was a boy named Matteo. He was very quiet. He had short curly hair and brown eyes. He wore a blue uniform because his job was also to clean the office after everyone left. The other interns treated him badly. They called him the mop boy. They pushed him. They laughed at him. One day, the senior manager, Mr. David, shouted at Matteo in front of everyone. "You are late." Mr. David yelled. "If you are late again, I will fire you." Matteo's face turned red. He did not say a word. He just lowered his head and started cleaning the coffee stain on the floor. I watched this from my office window. I felt something was not right. This boy was different. He did not look angry. He looked sad. But he also looked strong. Why was he here? Why did he accept this treatment? I decided to find out more about him. I asked my assistant for his file. But the file was almost empty. It only said his name, Matteo Reyes. No family details. No education history. It was like he appeared from nowhere. That night, I could not sleep. I went back to the office late. I saw Matteo still working. He was organizing old files in the storage room. I walked in quietly. I saw him open a drawer. He pulled out an old photograph. He stared at it for a long time. Then I heard him whisper, "I promise I will finish what you started, Father." I froze. Father? Who was his father? I needed to know. But before I could ask, Matteo heard my footsteps. He quickly put the photo back and closed the drawer. He looked at me with fear in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Madam CEO," he said. "I was just organizing." I smiled gently. "It's okay, Matteo. You work very hard. I see that." He nodded and left quickly. But I opened the drawer. The photograph was gone. He took it with him. What was he hiding? And why did the name on his file feel so familiar? The next morning, I called my old friend who works in the company records department. Find me everything about Mateo Reyes, I told him. Everything. The deadline for our big project was in 2 weeks. The whole office was stressed. But my mind was on this mystery. Who was this quiet intern? The days passed. The big project deadline was close. Everyone was working late. One evening, we had an important meeting with a foreign client. All the managers were there. I was presenting our new product. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Mateo. He came to clean the meeting room as scheduled. Mr. David stood up. "Can't you see we are in a meeting?" he shouted. "Get out, you stupid boy." The client looked uncomfortable. Mateo whispered, "I'm sorry. I will come back later." He turned to leave. But then Mr. David did something terrible. He pushed Mateo. Mateo fell. The mop and bucket crashed to the floor. Water spilled everywhere. The whole room was silent. Mr. David laughed. "Look at this loser," he said to the client. "This is what happens when we hire poor people with no education." I felt my blood boil. This was too much. I stood up. "Mr. David," I said firmly. "That is enough. Apologize to him now." Mr. David's smile disappeared. "What? Apologize to an intern?" he asked, shocked. Before I could answer, Mateo stood up. He looked directly at Mr. David. His eyes were not sad anymore. They were fierce. "You don't need to apologize," Mateo said quietly. "You will regret your words soon." Mr. David laughed again. "Is that a threat, boy? I can fire you right now." But Mateo did not answer. He just walked out. The meeting ended badly. The client was not impressed. That night, I found the report from my friend. He said, "Elena, this is strange. Mateo's file was edited recently. Someone deleted his family information. But I found an old record. His mother's name was Maria Reyes. She died 10 years ago. And his father." He paused. "His father's name was Carlos Reyes. He was the co-founder of your company. He disappeared 20 years ago, after a big fight with your husband." I dropped my coffee cup. Carlos Reyes. My husband's old partner. The man who built this company with us. But he left. He resigned. Or did he? What happened to him? And why is his son here, cleaning floors, hiding his identity? The next day, something happened. The board of directors called an emergency meeting. They said they found serious problems with our company's finances. Someone was stealing money. And all the evidence pointed to Mr. David. The police came. They arrested him right in the office. Everyone was shocked. But I was watching Matteo. He stood in the corner, watching calmly. He did not look surprised. Later, I followed him to the storage room. I saw him take out a laptop from his bag. It was not a cheap laptop. It was a very expensive one. He opened it. I saw screens full of code and numbers. He was not just a cleaner. Matteo, I said. He jumped. He tried to hide the laptop. Madam CEO. I can explain. I know who you are, I said softly. You are Carlos Reyes' son. His face turned white. Then he sighed. Yes. My father built this company with your husband. But your husband betrayed him. He stole my father's ideas and pushed him out. My father lost everything. He died poor and heartbroken. I came here to get proof. To take back what is ours. I felt tears in my eyes. I didn't know, I whispered. I swear I didn't know. I believe you, Matteo said. You were kind to me. You are not like them. He showed me the proof. He had spent months secretly gathering evidence. The financial problems. The stolen ideas. Everything was on his laptop. He was going to present it to the board. He was going to take the company back. But then he said something that shocked me even more. Elena, my father didn't just co-found this company. He was the majority shareholder. According to the old documents, 51% belongs to the Reyes family. I am the legal heir. I sat down. My whole world was shaking. The boy who cleaned our floors was not just an intern. He was the true owner of the company. He had hidden his identity to gather the truth. And now, the power was returning to him. What will you do? I asked. Matteo looked at me. His eyes were kind. I will do what is right. But first, I need to see the original documents. Can you help me find them? I nodded. We had to go to the old storage room. The deadline was tonight. We found the original documents in a locked safe. They were real. Matteo's father, Carlos, was indeed the majority shareholder. My husband had hidden this for 20 years. He had lied to me. He had stolen a man's life work. The next day, Matteo presented everything to the board. They were shocked. They apologized to him. They offered him the CEO position. But Matteo shook his head. "I don't want to fire everyone," he said. "I want to rebuild this company with fairness. I want to honor my father's dream. He made me the CEO again, but with a condition: I must run the company with honesty." He became the chairman of the board. The interns who bullied him were given a choice: change their behavior or leave. Mr. David went to prison. The lesson I learned is this: never judge a person by their appearance. The quietest person might hold the biggest truth. And sometimes, the one who seems powerless is the one with all the power. Matteo taught me that real strength is not about shouting or bullying. It is about patience, intelligence, and knowing your true worth. Always treat everyone with respect. You never know who is watching. You never know who is waiting for the right moment to return to power.